Hey everyone. So today I want to talk a little bit about Puerto Rico and Trump in Puerto Rico. Everyone's been talking about him saying, oh, Trump's, terrible. What's he doing with Puerto Rico? Yeah, I've been watching like CNN and everything. They have all this like negative coverage of him. And yeah, the way he handles a lot of things isn't very good. But I like to point out that I thought he had a pretty good quote in all this. He was talking to Fox News about Puerto Rico, and I have the quote here. It's pretty darn interesting. Listen to this. So he says, "They owe a lot of money to your friends on Wall Street, and we're going to have to wipe that out. You're going to have to say goodbye to that. And I don't know if it's Goldman Sachs, but whoever it is, you can wave goodbye to that." That was Trump talking about Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico's debt. Now, did Donald Trump just advocate for canceling and wiping out Puerto Rico's debt? I think he kind of did. That's really interesting because it's a very populist message, and we know that he ran a populist campaign. However, we also know that since getting elected, he's basically been controlled by the establishment. So, what's going on here? That's actually really cool. I don't actually think it's going to happen, but if it does, that would be amazing. We're always talking about, because, the thing about Puerto Rico is that Puerto Rico is just a territory of the United States. And as a territory, they really don't have a lot of the same benefits a lot of the states do. So, for instance, Puerto Rico actually, they basically can't even like declare bankruptcy. They basically can't say, we can't pay off these debts because these interest rates on the Puerto Rico municipal bonds are through the roof. So, Puerto Rico has to pay the investors back their money plus these enormous interest rates, and they simply can't afford this. And that's why Donald Trump says, I don't know if it's Goldman Sachs or whoever, but you have to wave goodbye. You have to wave goodbye to that. And I think that's pretty freaking badass. If he's serious about that, that's actually really cool. We actually haven't really had a president like that said, you have to wave goodbye to your to debts. That's actually really awesome. And a lot of the mainstream news hasn't actually been reporting that quote by him. I thought it was pretty strange. I thought it was actually pretty cool. But a really big point that a lot of people aren't really focusing on in all this Puerto Rico mess, it's the point that Puerto Rico should really honestly just become its own country. Think about it. Why is Puerto Rico still a U.S. territory? We went in there in like 1898 to basically suck all the wealth out of their sugar plantations and whatnot that they had going on there. And we've been there ever since. Why are we still there? Puerto Rico should definitely become its own country. People are saying Puerto Rico should become a state. No, not at all. Puerto Rico should become its own country. Puerto Rico, they have their own language, their own culture. They have a different history. They should be their own country. They don't really fit in with all the other, 50 states. We all have that Americana culture. However, they really don't. They're really their own thing. They have their own people, and they should be with their own people and be with their own unique, amazing culture. That's why Puerto Rico should definitely just become its own country. I feel like that's a point that not a lot of people are bringing up right now that I think is very important. Well, that's basically all I had to say today. So I'll see you guys later. Talk to you later.